From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Pink as far as the eye can see.
This amazing group of women have a heart to help other people.
This morning, stories of survival, the power of perseverance, and friendships made along the way.
These women are my Pink Sisterhood.
Our annual Pink Breakfast for breast cancer survivors starts right now. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to our live Survivors Breakfast right here in the Q2 studios. I'm Augusta McDonald. We've got Ed McIntosh emceeing our breakfast this morning. Diane Parker's got some great stories of women who are surviving this disease. And then Miller Robson, of course, on deck helping share the experiences of folks all across our community who are here this morning to celebrate their survivorship. But first, we want to tell you the story of the organization that we are supporting with this breakfast this morning. All the proceeds of our fundraiser today, we're trying to raise $5,000, go to an organization called Pack the Place in Pink. All proceeds of their work go directly to breast cancer survivors in our communities. Let's learn a little bit more about Pack the Place in Pink. Pack the Place in Pink is run purely on volunteer hours. Wendy Penrod is one of their passionate volunteers.
I was diagnosed in December of 2017 and just passed my mark of yay, everything's still clear.
The all clear comes after intensive treatment.
My first surgery was 8.5 hours long.
She wanted to use her experience to help others, and that's when this organization came into her life.
And when I found out about Pack the Place in Pink, I was just so encaptured and wondered, is this really what they do?
And the best surprise of all,
what I wasn't expecting was this amazing group of women who have a heart to help other people.
She says their simple approach goes a long way.
We're just going to give you a pink hug. And for us, a pink hug is a financial gift. And once you verify those two things, you live in Montana and you are a breast cancer patient, we're going to help you.
Their mission speaks to many across the state. As pink hugs went out, even more came back to pass on to the next person.
You're seeing that all over the state, and oftentimes it is that person that was a breast cancer recipient for Pack the Place in Pink that says, I'm going to pay this forward and I'm going to do something with this.
They've continued to grow since 2007. An anonymous donor just bought this trailer for them to help them expand their merchandise sales.
We never in a million years thought we'd be doing what we're doing now. But we really feel like we're making a difference.
From sports to events just like the Pink Breakfast, Pack the Place in Pink is spreading pink and hope all across Montana.
I just love it.
Again, Pack the Place in Pink, a really wonderful organization. And this morning, we have a fundraiser for Pack the Place in Pink. We're trying to raise $5,000 today, which will be matched by Q2. To donate right now, we have an open phone bank. You can call 406-259-8130. I'm standing by right now with the founders and the women who are running this organization. Susie Paddock, Vicki Carl, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So fun. So what do you think this morning? I'm sure you're seeing some familiar faces.
Oh yeah. It's fun to come, isn't it? You see a lot of people you recognize every year, and it's just so fun to watch how much fun that these people have getting together one time a month, one time a year. And for Pink. Yeah. It's awesome.
And I mean, the community of breast cancer survivors is tight-knit. It's such a challenging shared experience. What's it like to have this many people around you who have such a common struggle, but also a common hope?
Well, I'm just looking around here, my heart's pounding because, I've been on that cancer end of it, and I look at all this and it's so inspiring and empowering to see the strength of these women, and it's so empowering to see what Q2 has done and everybody across the state of Montana to pitch in to make a difference, because cancer's real. I mean, we can put pink on, but there's a lot going on inside that not everybody hopefully will have to deal with, but it's a big deal, so we're grateful.
Well, thank you both so much for being here this morning. We're going to be chatting with survivors all morning, sharing their experiences and more stories from Pack the Place in Pink. One of my favorite things you guys shared is your thank you letters. So we're going to share a little bit more about those.
Good.
Years of heartfelt thank you letters to Pack the Place in Pink tell a similar story. People keeping hope alive, fighting back against a devastating disease, and promising to pass this generosity on to others as soon as possible.
All right, and there is so much thankfulness to go around in this room this morning, so much gratefulness for all the amazing care that our survivors are getting and just the love that they're seeing and feeling this morning. If you look around this room, we have survivors here that have been survivors for only a few months, maybe diagnosed on their first mammogram, all the way up to 39 years. Some of these ladies are going through a lot right now, while others are far along their journey. Let's go ahead and meet some of them.
Having grown up with no sisters, I started using the phrase pink sisterhood when I was going through my own breast cancer journey. These women are my pink sisterhood.
Ask any of the women at Q2's annual Pink Breakfast what their superpower is, and they'll likely tell you they're a survivor. Whether it's 39 years, like Sunny Ray, who got diagnosed back in 1984, or a few years, like Denise, Sandy, or Athena, each has a distinct perspective on life.
My advice for anybody that's diagnosed with cancer is talk to everybody that you can. And remember, you're never alone. There's always somebody in your corner.
The words "you're not alone" mean a lot to anyone battling breast cancer, but to some, they mean everything. Brenda Miller is a 5-year survivor with cancer that's metastasized to her brain and lungs, causing 22 brain tumors.
I started having trouble breathing at work, and I had fluid on my heart and my lungs. They hospitalized me for 6 days and told me to get my affairs in order because I didn't have much time to live.
She doesn't know where her story goes next, but she does know she's still surviving. And it's wrapping those fellow survivors in love that has Vicki Olsen Johnson returning to the Pink Breakfast again and again. In fact, Olsen has only missed 2 Pink Breakfasts.
I think people saw in that first breakfast and those after how much bonding happens between women and men who have experienced this journey through cancer. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to be celebrated.
To all our survivors, you're not alone, and Q2 loves and supports you. And Q2, honestly, we truly love and support each and every survivor, those that are in the room this morning, those who are not able to make it. But the ones who we met on the video, they are here this morning. They are all decked out in their pink. A little bit later in the show, we're going to catch up with Vicki Olsen Johnson. Like I said, she has only missed 2 Pink Breakfasts. She really feels like part of the Q2 family, as do all of these women here. You guys, I'll go ahead and send it back to you. We'll check in a little bit later.
Great story. Thank you so much, Diane. So many families are deeply affected by breast cancer, including my own. We lost my mother-in-law, Doreen Conley, in June, and she fought a really heroic 10-year fight with this disease. So I want to share with you all a moment just a few weeks before she passed.
Hold on, don't fall. Oh my gosh, you guys make me so nervous.
So that was Doreen's approach to pretty much everything. In this moment, she was so positive. She went to Dana-Farber Medical Center in Boston for 10 years of treatment. And every time she went in, she treated it like a social hour. She even enjoyed her infusions because she had so many friends there. It was incredible. You walk in and it was just like lunch with the ladies when she would go get her treatments. And she really persevered until the very end. She very much did not want to go. And I think that's true of so many of our survivors, just like that as well, Miller. There's very much a passion to live in this community. I keep hearing over and over again, you know, a breast cancer diagnosis is not a death sentence. And I think this morning is a testament to this spirit of surviving and enjoying life when we have it.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear it, but we've heard some laughter from the room in there. So they're having a wonderful time. It is just a wonderful, wonderful, inspirational morning. And you still have the time to be a part of it. Be sure to go to our website, make a donation, call the number, and let's see what we can do this morning. But I wish I could give you some warmer weather this morning. Yeah. Just timing. It just happens to be the coldest morning of the season. But don't worry, we are in a warming trend as we get into this afternoon. We are going to start to warm up. Let's take a step back in time quickly. Yesterday, we only got up to about 55, so almost a good 10 degrees below the norm. Our overnight low right on target. A bit breezy at times yesterday. We did have some rainfall, just very limited rainfall across the area, but still pacing ahead for the month and for the year. We're in really good shape, folks, really good shape. Now, that's it for the rain. As we move forward, it's just going to get warmer and it's going to get very, very dry out there. We have dipped down into the 30s here in Billings. At the airport, we're at 39, feels like 33. The dew point temperature is at 24 degrees, so it's very dry out there. Winds out the northeast at about 8 miles an hour. And you can see over on the eastern side of the Q2 viewing area where there's a lack of the cloud cover, it's a lot colder. Definitely some frosty areas there. But hang in there. All of us going to enjoy a very nice warm-up. It's not going to be fall-like by the time we get to the weekend, especially on Monday. But that doesn't last. We have yet another cool down on the way. Bit of a roller coaster with those temperatures. We will take a look with that main forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Miller, thank you so much. And just really quick, that number again to make a donation right now to our phone booth, which is open. We got folks answering phones. That number 406-259-8130. Again, 406-259-8130. You can make a donation that goes directly to breast cancer patients in our community. But let's get to some headlines. First this morning, Native American parents are accusing Wyola school staff of abusing their children, grabbing students by the arm and calling them degrading names. We're told a conflict of some kind led the district to cancel a school-sanctioned Native American Week parade scheduled for yesterday. In response, a group of parents went down to the school and held a parade of their own. Police were called and stayed on scene all day. The school ejected parents from the premises and gave out letters banning them from the property. No one from the district would comment on camera, but tell us they will release a statement with their side of the story. And today we'll learn the names of the 2 Yellowstone County deputies now on administrative leave after shooting a suspect Wednesday night near Ballantyne. Sheriff Mike Linder says he plans to get more information out soon. The incident started when 2 deputies attempted to arrest a man on a warrant at a home on South 28th Road. The suspect fired at the officers, so no one shot back, hitting and killing the man at the scene. The shooting is under investigation by the Sheriff's Office Detective Division and the Coroner's Office. Meanwhile, a Billings man literally had to dodge a bullet during a shooting early yesterday morning in the Heights. Police say the 66-year-old was standing by the window of his residence on the 13th block of Lake Elmo Road when a bullet hit the glass. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. The alleged shooter then crossed the street where he pointed his gun at another man. That caught the criminal trying to break into his truck. Police say the suspected shooter fled on foot. It remains unclear if he's been taken into custody or if he is still at large. And now we're going to head to Lockwood for one of the biggest hugs you'll ever see.
What's up, buddy? How have you been, huh?
I've been doing good. I missed you.
I miss you too, buddy. I miss you too.
That's good stuff. That's Army Private Second Class Kelby Zhang surprising his 8th grade brother Skylar Foose after school yesterday. They hadn't seen each other in months, and before this reunion, and Skylar thought the wait would be much longer. Kelby is getting ready for deployment in Romania, so before he left, Mom and Grandma orchestrated this very special surprise. Skylar telling us simply that it was amazing, looking up to his big brother. TEDx Billings is coming up tomorrow. Dozens of speakers take over the Babcock Theater looking to captivate a crowd. When Adam Gunton gets on stage, he hopes to inspire. 8 years ago, he was found by police, passed out at a stop sign in Laurel, overdosing on fentanyl in his car. Today, the 34-year-old is sober, a best-selling author and the founder of nonprofit Recovered on Purpose. His organization provides a 50-state resource guide for the suffering from drug and alcohol, for those suffering from drug and alcohol addiction who don't have private insurance or money. Cancel your Saturday plans, unless, of course, you're going to TEDx Billings. However, you already had the Wyoming State Championship weigh-off and pumpkin drop-off on your calendar. Worland resident Jay Richard grew this pumped-up pumpkin. He estimates weighs close to 1,800 pounds. He won't know for sure until the weekend competition. Jay started cultivating his gourd-growing gift back in 2002. He continues to improve. Before this year, Jay's largest pumpkin weighed just over 1,200 pounds. Still ahead on this Friday morning, we're talking treatment. As the women here today know, a cancer diagnosis is scary. After the break, we'll speak with a brave survivor about how she beat the disease. It is 6:14 a.m., 45 degrees outside. You're watching Billings' only local morning newscast, and now here's a look back at our very first Pink Breakfast. This was held 13 years ago. This all started in 2009. Back then, we had 25 in attendance. This morning, we have nearly 150 people.
I never in a million years would have dreamed it would have turned into something like this.
That's former Montana This Morning anchor Nikki Lorenzo, the original brains behind this breakfast bash.
Billings will always have a special place in my heart, and I love to see the fact that this is still going.
Now, 13 years later, we want to thank each and every person who's been to a pink breakfast over the years. You've helped Q2's greatest tradition survive. At Q2, we send our support to everyone fighting breast cancer in this community. No matter where you're at in your journey, a recent diagnosis, or decades in, we celebrate your strength. Again, we're sending big love out to all of our breast cancer survivors here in the studio and out in the community. We're having a great morning so far. Thank you all for sharing your stories with us. And we know that treatment for this disease, of course, can be very costly financially and physically. Q2's Kelsey Boggs talked to a naturopathic physician about how they help others manage the side effects of cancer treatment.
When you receive a cancer diagnosis, your whole world gets flipped upside down. Navigating treatments isn't easy, which is why doctors have developed integrative options so that patients can choose their own path. Here at Billings Clinic, the team is working to provide a more natural approach to the aggressive treatment.
I like to be outdoors.
Shanna Herrick spends much of her time with her 2 children.
My daughter does competitive dance, so dance mom, and my son is sports, so I get to watch all of their fun activities.
Something she almost lost the chance to be a part of.
It wasn't a surprise to me when I got the diagnosis.
In 2020, Herrick received news no one wants to hear.
February of 2020, I had my mammo, it was clear. I came in 6 months later for the MRI, and that's where they found the tumor.
But it didn't come as a shock after she watched her mom fight the same battle.
My journey actually started in '97 when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I went through all the things with my mom.
Herrick's mom won her battle, but died 4 years ago. Over the years, with advancements in medicine and technology, treatment options have expanded.
In cancer care, we have seen, thankfully, longer survivorship. And that has been in part because of early detection and education, but also advances in treatment.
Dr. Roberta Burgon is a naturopathic provider at Billings Clinic and helped Herrick find integrative treatments to aid her cancer journey.
Our philosophy differs a little bit in that we're looking more at prevention if possible. So supplements, herbal medications, lifestyle changes, those types of things.
Burgon says the treatment path works with other treatments and helps patients feel more in control of their journey.
When someone comes in with a breast cancer diagnosis, the goal that I have is for them to experience the least number of side effects from their treatment, gain knowledge, and to empower themselves to thrive through treatment and afterwards.
Having some of the natural things to kind of help your body in a more natural way try to heal is important to me.
Now Herrick can share her story with the hope of inspiring others.
Just take it day by day. You'll get to the end of the road and one day you're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm a cancer survivor. The first time I said that, I was like kind of blown away and surprised. But one day you'll get there.
In Billings, Kelsey Boggs, MTN News.
Kelsey, thank you. And our Diane Parker joining us now. Good morning, Diane. You're standing by now with a survivor who's a very familiar face at these pink breakfasts.
Yes, good morning, Augusta. Well, this survivor is Brenda Miller. You may recognize her from just a little bit earlier in the show. She is a survivor of 8 years, and she's been through a lot. And we're so happy that you are here this morning, Brenda. You actually had your breast cancer diagnosis about 8 years ago. That has metastasized to her brain and lungs. And we want to know, what is your treatment like?
My treatment has been a lot. There's a lot of things going on. I have to do Herceptin infusion starting on Monday again. And then they started me on a medication called Takaiza, and then capecitabine. And I got to do that 14 days and 7 days off. It has been overwhelming, but I have good support from my family and friends.
Right, and we heard from Brenda earlier in the story. She said she's still surviving. You don't exactly know what the future holds, but you are here, and we are so grateful that you are here. everyone here is wrapping our survivors in love, because you guys truly do go through a lot. What does it mean to be here this morning with all these fellow survivors?
It's amazing because of the fact that there's so many people that are going through the same thing that you are.
Right. Well, Q2 loves and supports you, Brenda. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yep, and I'll send it back to you guys.
Welcome back to Montana This Morning. You're looking at a packed house right now here at the Q2 studios. You might be hearing Ed over there emceeing this event, but let's get into some national headlines this morning. First, President Joe Biden is defending his administration's decision to waive more than 24 federal laws to allow for construction of roughly 20 miles of additional southern border wall in Texas. Biden said a Trump-era law requires wall funding to be used as approved and construction to be finished this year. His Secretary of Homeland Security said there's been no change in administrative policy, which he said is opposed to the construction of this wall. Yesterday, Ukraine was hit with one of the deadliest attacks against civilians in this war. A Russian missile slammed into a cafe and grocery store, killing more than 50 people, including a 6-year-old boy in the eastern part of the country. Here at home, President Biden is planning what the White House calls a major speech on Ukraine as he pushes Congress to authorize up to $24 billion in additional support for Ukraine's defense. The Pentagon has warned money for the country will run out in about 2 months. And the United Auto Workers Union strike is now in its 4th week. UAW President Shawn Fain is scheduled to make an address and potentially expand the strike today at noon. Talks remain ongoing between the union and all 3 major Detroit automakers. And now we've got Miller standing by. We can hear that pink breakfast. It is loud over there. You guys are having a good time, Miller.
We are having a great time here. I'm getting hungry. There's a lot of food to be had here as well, so I'll try to save
great.
you some. How's that? All right, let's talk about the weather, and then we got a very special interview we're going to do here in just a second. First off, as the kids are getting up to go to school this morning, we do have some frost on the ground out there, kiddos, so you want to be mindful of that. You want to bundle up, but hang in there because we do have some really nice weather on the way as we move forward across the weekend. Things are looking absolutely fantastic. We're going to see temperatures in the 70s. Even by the time we get to Monday, we have a chance to see some 80s in the forecast. But let's see if this thing will work here. I don't know if this is going to work from here. It's a little delay there. Okay. We have a little bit of delay, so bear with me. Anyway, we do have some really nice weather on the way. There we go. All right, so yeah, temperatures in the 30s, some areas dipping down into the 20s this morning. There is some frost on the ground. Here in Billings, though, we have a lot of cloud cover, and that's actually keeping those temperatures up just a little bit. And again, we're going to have those warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend. By Monday, trying to get back into the 80s, and then we have another system, a trough that's going to come in as we get into the early part of next week. It's going to give us a chance of some rain, and then those temperatures are going to cool right back down again. The big story, of course, this morning, everybody's going pink. We have a wonderful audience, a wonderful crowd here, a lot of survivors. It's been a very inspirational morning so far, and we're not done yet. Augusta is joining me. Augusta, we have a very special guest. She is a 2-time cancer survivor.
Yes, we do. Carrie Young joining us now. Thank you so much, Miller. Thank you for being here this morning and celebrating survivorship, this wonderful community. Tell us a little bit about how it kind of feels for you being here in this room.
It's overwhelming, but the support is good to see, and to see so many people that actually are going through something that I just had to go through last year. So, but I am a 2-time cancer survivor. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2011 and did chemo and radiation, and then got diagnosed with breast cancer. Did a surgery on Friday the 13th, which everybody would love to do, and glad to be here. Did a double mastectomy and going forward.
You know what strikes me, though, is you're very young. And cancer doesn't discriminate. It goes for young, it goes for old, doesn't matter what background you have. What has the journey been like? Because you are so young, you look into the future. How things panning out for you? Where are we going to be in a couple of years? I know you're going to be here hanging out with us, having more fun.
Absolutely.
But just tell us a little bit more about that journey. Yeah.
I think for me, for the journey, is just always to keep checking everything. You know, I'm lucky that I was young enough that I did just have a lump, that I felt in my neck, and the biggest thing for me was my chest wasn't caught through like mammograms and my 3D mammograms. That was from an ultrasound and a change in my own chest. And so futuristically, hoping to collect no more ribbons and just, keep going forward and staying healthy.
Carrie, thank you so much. Thank you for being here and sharing a piece of your story. I think that sort of, that community is what makes it all so special. We also have a story this morning about some of the other ways that our Q2 has been involved. Let's take a look.
Just thinking about her beating that crown while she's going through so much in her personal life makes me want to be better.
It stripped me back layers, like literal layers of a woman. This is my identity, my hair, my breasts, my nails.
It makes my heart feel good to be able to help different women who are going through exactly what I went through.
I think one of my favorite, most touching ones was the thank you note where the gal bought 2 wigs, a puppy, and a guitar. If our money helped give her some happiness and some peace down the stretch, then wonderful.
Today I feel a lot stronger, and I can get back to beating.
I dropped my robe and looked at myself, and in those moments I realized what a warrior and how incredible it was to just be sitting there.
Welcome back to Montana This Morning. You're looking at a gorgeous sunrise out there. A bit of a chilly morning. It is 6:34 a.m. If you hear the sounds of a big party in the background, that's because we have one happening right now in the Q2 studios. You might hear some sounds from our Survivors Breakfast as we get through these headlines, and we're going to have some more in just a few minutes on a really great event here at the studio this morning. But first, today we'll learn the names of the 2 Yellowstone County deputies now on administrative leave after shooting a suspect Wednesday night near Ballantyne. Sheriff Mike Linder says he plans to get more information out soon. The incident started when 2 deputies attempted to arrest a man on a warrant at a home on South 28th Road. The suspect fired at officers, one shot back, hitting and killing the man at the scene. The shooting is under investigation by the Sheriff's Office Detective Division and the Coroner's Office. Meanwhile, a Billings man literally had to dodge a bullet during a shooting early yesterday morning in the Heights. Police say the 66-year-old was standing by the window of his residence on the 1300 block of Lake Elmo Road when a bullet hit the glass. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. The alleged shooter then crossed the street where he pointed his gun at another man that caught the criminal trying to break into his truck. Police say the suspected shooter fled on foot. It remains unclear if he's been taken into custody or if he's still at large. This morning, Native American parents are accusing Wyola school staff of abusing their children, grabbing students by the arm, and calling them degrading names. We're told a conflict of some kind led the district to cancel a school-sanctioned Native American Week parade scheduled for yesterday. In response, a group of parents went down to the school and held a parade of their own. Police were called and stayed on scene all day. The school ejected parents from the premises and gave out letters banning them from the property.
When comments started coming in with my children saying certain things about verbal abuse, physical abuse, that was enough.
As parents and uncles and aunts, we expect our children to go to a safe school, a great school.
Both the school and the parents claim they're being met with aggression from the other side. No one from the district would comment on camera, but tell us they will release a statement with their side of the story. So we've got Diane now standing by. Thank you so much for heading up to the phone bank, Diane. Are the phones ringing up there?
Good morning, Augusta. Well, we are here in the Q2 newsroom where we have our live call center going on. We can hear those phones ringing off of the hook. Thank you so much to everyone who's calling in and donating to Pack the Place in Pink. Again, our goal this morning is to raise $5,000. That will be matched by Q2. And this is all going back to local survivors in our community. This is a fundraiser for Pack the Place in Pink. They are such a wonderful organization in our community. In fact, 98% of their funds raised through their organization, this nonprofit, go right back directly to local survivors. And I will tell you that those local survivors are extremely grateful for all the support that they get. Pack the Place in Pink gets so many thank you notes. We saw a little bit of those earlier in the show. Augusta was reading to us. I want to read one more. This says, Dear Vicki, Tracy, Julie, Susie, and Bridget, I am so touched and grateful to all of you for such generosity. When I opened your envelope and saw your check and ice cream coupons, it brought tears to my eyes. You guys, these donations mean so much to our survivors here in Montana. We want to thank you so much for calling in. I know that we have raised hundreds of dollars already this morning. Again, our goal is $5,000 to be matched by Q2. And thank you so much for wrapping our survivors in love today and this week for Pink Week and all year long. Our survivors need all of our care and support. Again, that number is 259-8136. All right, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Diane. You're right, so important year-round to wrap love around our survivors. Folks in treatment are faced with a lot of challenges and a lot of costs, and donating to causes like Pack the Place in Pink will help literally thousands of Montanans. Let's take a look. Got some statistics for you. The American Cancer Society's Cancer Statistics Center projects 7,100 Montanans will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year alone. 2,200 will die. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in women. Every woman in the United States has a 1 in 8 chance of developing breast cancer sometime in their life, and the median age at the time of breast cancer diagnosis is 62. On a more positive note, at this time, there are more than 4 million breast cancer survivors in the United States. This includes women still being treated, of course, men as well, and those who have completed treatment. And after this break, Miller has a closer look at your forecast. Stay with us.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with meteorologist Miller Robson.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Time now is 6:41 on this TGIF and the Survivors Pink Breakfast. You can hear the rumbling in the background. We are having a wonderful time. We want you to call in and have your donation matched right now. You can either call 406-259-8130 or go to our website at ktvq.com/pink, and all the donations benefit Pack the Place Pink, which we have done this morning. It is just an awesome sea of pink in there, and it's all brought to you by the wonderful folks at Billings Clinic. I want to say a special hi to, let me get this right. This is Ralph, who is watching in Powell, Wyoming. His lovely wife is here at the breakfast. So Ralph, you got a good one there. Fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at those temperatures across the area. Big story is the coldest air mass of the season coming in. You can see some areas below freezing here where we are seeing some frosty conditions this morning. Other areas like here in Billings, we're back up to about, we were at 40, now it's back down to about 39. We've had some cloud cover out there, so it's kept us a little warmer than what we thought, but it's still cold nonetheless. And you can see some areas in the 40s this morning because of the cloud cover. Now, high pressure is going to continue to dominate as we go across the weekend. A lot of sunshine. It's going to be another cool day today. Then as we move forward, it is going to warm up across the weekend. We're looking at temperatures in the 70s for some. And on Monday, a chance we could hit 80 briefly here in Billings. That's ahead of what we think is going to be another trough coming out of the Pacific. It's going to cool us down starting on Tuesday. Definitely Wednesday, Thursday. You'll see this on the 7 days, but that trough is going to give us our next chance of seeing some rain, maybe as early as Tuesday night. Now, the models are a little sketchy, so that timeline could change, but kind of just what we're looking at as we get into next week. Today becoming sunny, highs in the 50s and 60s. Tonight's going to be another chilly night. Some areas, I think, especially down there in northern parts of Wyoming, let's see if we've held on to that. Let's see if it's still there. Yeah, we do still have that freeze watch in effect for your area later on tonight. Still have a freeze warning up in effect over in Williston, who we have some folks watching this morning. All right, highs tomorrow, there you are, warming up with a lot of 70s across the board, even more so as we get into Sunday. Look at Monday, a chance to hit 80, and then we start to see that trough take effect next week, seeing a big cool down, maybe as early as Wednesday, those temperatures getting back down into the 50s. How about that? All right, switching gears here just a bit. Q2, Western Security Bank, City Brew Coffee, and Education Foundation for Billings Public Schools have teamed up for One Class at a Time. It is a program that recognizes teachers who go above and beyond to help out their students. And this week we got a good one for you. We're singing the praises of a very special teacher at one of our area high schools. Meet Dave Green, the choir teacher at West High. He's one of the students' favorites, and his class is one of the most popular.
I think people love to sing. You know, I love to sing. I think it's just kind of infectious. If you love the thing that you're teaching, people are going to catch that, I think, a little bit. Take me to the river so that my spirit can be free. What I hope everybody takes out of high school from this is that they can sing for their whole life. They don't need to stop in college. They don't need to stop after they're out of college. They can sing their entire life. There's always something you can be involved in, whether it's community choirs or barbershop or Sweet Adelines or anything. You can be involved your entire life in singing.
His passion is infectious, and his students are really gearing up for their upcoming fall concert.
They're doing a little tango piece called Tango to Evora. Then they're doing a spiritual, and then also kind of a contemporary one called Bumblebee by the Real Group. So they're just working hard toward October 17th.
For being a teacher who works hard to make sure his students have musical memories that last for years to come, Mr. Green was presented with a $500 grant from the Education Foundation for Billings Public Schools, proudly sponsored by Western Security Bank, and a $150 gift card from City Brew Coffee. Congratulations.
Thanks. This is totally a surprise.
Is there a teacher you'd like to nominate? Go to ktvq.com/oneclass and make that nomination now.
And welcome back to Montana This Morning. Thank you so much for joining us for this Pink Week. The day is here. It is Pink Breakfast Day. And just take a look around our studio. It is completely filled with survivors. We have over 150 guests joining us this morning, survivors and their caregivers. Two of those special guests are right here with me. We have Vicki Olson Johnson and Dee Oakland. They were in a story that we played a little bit earlier today, and they both have a very important message about fellowship. I mean, Dee, you talked about how this is really a pink sisterhood. Tell us about that.
Yes. I call it the Pink Sisterhood. We're a group of survivors. We meet every month for dinner. We share stories, and we care about each other. And these women are warriors. You hear the stories, and it's absolutely amazing. I feel very blessed to be in Billings and be able to experience that.
Yes, well, we are so happy that you guys are both here this morning. And Vicki Olson Johnson, you have been here since the very first Survivor Breakfast, and I think you've only missed two. Talk to us about the fellowship and what this morning means to you.
Diane, as a group of survivors, we love hard. This is a time that you bring us together in our bonding. And it is a bit emotional, Diane, because next year there might be some faces missing. And we treasure every single day that we get to celebrate life together. And I so appreciate the fact that KTVQ2 has done this with us to unite us and bond us year after year.
Oh my gosh, well, you are welcome, and we are so grateful to have you here, Vicki and Dee. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can call and donate to Pack the Place in Pink. Give us a call. Go to our website, ktvq.com/pink.
Welcome back to Montana This Morning. The sun is coming up out there. We've got a beautiful sunrise to go with our Pink Survivors Breakfast this morning. It is 6:52 a.m. We're going to have some more looks into the breakfast happening just over on the other side of the wall, if you can hear it. But first, let's do some headlines. This morning, Native American parents are accusing Wyola school staff of abusing their children, grabbing students by the arm, and calling them degrading names. We're told a conflict of some kind led the district to cancel a school-sanctioned Native American Week parade scheduled for yesterday. In response, a group of parents went down to the school and held a parade of their own. Police were called and they stayed on scene all day. The school ejected parents from the premises and gave out letters banning them from the property. No one from the district would comment on camera, but they do tell us they'll release a statement with their side of the story. We'll continue to follow that. And today, we'll learn the names of the two Yellowstone County deputies now on administrative leave after shooting a suspect Wednesday night near Ballantyne. Sheriff Mike Linder says he plans to get more information out soon. The incident started when two deputies attempted to arrest a man on a warrant at a home on South 28th Road. The suspect fired at the officers, so one shot back, hitting and killing the man at the scene. The shooting is under investigation by the Sheriff's Office Detective Division and the Coroner's Office. Meanwhile, a Billings man literally had to dodge a bullet during a shooting early yesterday morning in the Heights. Police say the 66-year-old was standing by the window of his residence on the 13 block of Lake Elmo Road when a bullet hit the glass. No one was hurt. The alleged shooter then crossed the street where he pointed his gun at another man. That caught the criminal trying to break into his truck. Residents say crime in the area is getting out of control.
It's definitely a regular occurrence. It's like I can't wake up and not check Facebook and know that nothing's going to happen the night before. There's always something that's occurring from day to day now.
Police say the suspected shooter fled on foot, and it remains unclear if he's been taken into custody or if he's still at large. Now let's head to Lockwood for one of the biggest hugs you'll ever see.
What's up, buddy? How have you been, huh?
I've been doing good. I missed you.
I miss you too, buddy. I miss you too.
That's Army Private Second Class Kelby Zhang surprising his 8th grade brother Skylar Foose after school yesterday. They had not seen each other in months before this reunion, and Skylar thought the wait was going to be a lot longer. Kelby is getting ready for deployment to Romania. So before he left, Mom and Grandma orchestrated this very special surprise. Skylar telling us simply, it was amazing. I love those military, I just love that so much. That was such a good moment. And from the story earlier, if you didn't see the whole story, find it online, because the little brother was like over the moon. It was very sweet.
That was so awesome. And
Yeah.
if you ever just go to YouTube and do military surprise homecomings, there's so many.
If you ever need an uplift, yeah.
Get the hanky ready. That's oh my goodness. Oh, I'll tell you. All right. Before we get out of here, I want to give you one last look at the forecast. First off, let's take a look at temperatures across the U.S. right now. Let's talk about the headlines. Parts of the northern and central plains, upper Mississippi Valley, we're looking at temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average. Parts of the northern and central plains, freeze warnings and watches tonight. More on that in just a second. And parts of the northeast, we're looking at a slight risk of excessive rainfall tomorrow. Now, look at those temperatures out there right now. We've got 30s and 40s, but we do have some 20s over to the east, northeast corner of the state. Wind chill factors in the teens for some. But up there in Williston, my friends up there that are watching right now, until 9 a.m. this morning, we have that freeze warning in effect. Later tonight, we're going to have some freeze watches in effect, including the Bighorn Basin, where those temperatures are going to try to dip down around freezing. But you'll notice some of us may be a little bit warmer tonight, because we're going to start to see a bit of a warming trend today. Some warmer air mass trying to move on in. Now, even though it's cold out there, it is a gorgeous start to the day. And it's going to just be a beautiful day today. We're going to have a lot of sunshine this afternoon, highs getting into the 50s, could even see some 60s, and we don't stop there. As we take a look at these 7 days, you'll notice we're only getting warmer across the weekend. High pressure is really going to dominate, really dig in, bring dry conditions, and give us a lot of sunshine all the way through the early part of next week. You can see back into the 70s across the area this weekend. On Monday, some of us may actually try to hit 80. We're going to try to do that here in Billings, but what you don't see there is we do have another anticipated trough that's going to be coming in as we get into the early part of next week. So we'll start to see some rain move in, maybe as early as Tuesday evening all the way through Thursday morning. But the big story is, are we going to see another cool down coming in? Yes, there is a chance. In fact, as early as we get to Wednesday, we have a chance to dip down into the 50s, definitely a shot by the time we get to the end of the weekend. So a little bit of a roller coaster ride with the temperatures. And if you're going to blame somebody, blame Ed. How you doing this morning, Ed? Good to see you.
Great. Good to see you, Miller.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it's cold outside, but it's so warm in here today.
It
with
is.
Everybody getting started. It's my favorite morning of the year.
It's yes, and we're just a lot of pink around, and just a wonderful cause. And of course, even though we may be wrapping up on the air, they still have a chance to go to our website and call our phone number and make a donation.
That's right. KTBQ.com/pink. You get all the information there. Use the phone number on the screen so you can call in. And we're going to double up your donations this morning, up to $5,000 to the Scripps Howard Foundation. Nice thing.
All right, we got Augusto over there. Augusto, how you doing? This was your first one. What do you think?
This was my first one. I had the best time. This was fantastic. This is an incredible community of people. I am very touched. I'd heard it was very special, and now I see that for myself. Okay, so Bertie, we had your story on this week. Tell us, how did it feel to get to be at the breakfast this morning? How was this morning?
I'm not usually a morning person, but every once in a while, I mean, once in a great while, I'll get up at 5 a.m. Today it was one of them, and I'm excited about coming here and seeing all the pink, and it was beautiful. And all the survivors with us, and we've been telling each other our stories, and it's a healing time for me right now, talking about what I went through, what she went through. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Bertie. Thank you for being here. And I want to ask Kathy really quick as well. You brought your sister here this morning.
not a morning person.
She's not a morning person either. Kathy, how was the breakfast?
It was fabulous. It was worth driving all the way from Powell, Wyoming. But thank you all so much for putting this on. It's only my second time because I was pretty sick a couple years ago.
Okay.
But, it's just wonderful. Everybody that you meet are just so encouraging. Everybody has a story and their struggles, and it's just wonderful. And thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
And thank you all to everybody who came in this morning. It truly is a very special morning, and we want to say a big thank you to all of the Q2 staff. This is like and all of our sponsors who contributed in lots of different ways to this event. It's been a very special morning. Thank you all for being here, and we are going to plan to do this again.
Yes.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you back on Montana This Morning on Monday. Thank you all.